This video is sponsored by the Pokemon TCG deck building website PokemonCard.io. Are you looking for sealed product and singles? You can find it all on Channel Fireball. Please use my Tailmon affiliate code when checking out to help support my content. Looking for PTGO codes? Poton Store has all the latest sets and promos, instantly delivered to your email. You can use Tailmon code when checking out for 5% off. If you're from Europe, Millipots Gaming has a wide array of sealed products, singles, and more. You can use Tailmon code when checking out for 5% off. Card Market is Europe's largest online marketplace for Pokemon cards. Whether you're looking for sealed product or singles, vintage or the latest sets, just follow the link in the description to find what you need. Want to show off your love for Tablemon? Check out my 2021 merch. These new hoodies and shirts are available on Amazon. Click on the link in the description to get yours. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video here at Tailmon, where we're going to be taking a look at what happened at the Tailmon Challenge number 2 of Season 2. Now that we have battle styles, the metagame has been very diverse. Season 1 was known as the station dominating everything, right? Literally every tournament was the most played deck. It won the most tournaments. It always had the most showings in top 8. But now look at this, right? Station is only at the number 6 spot, right? In terms of popularity. Togekiss is now the most popular deck. We have Rapid Strike Urshifu in number 2, Dragapult Urshifu in number 3, Victini in number 4, and Cinderace and Inteleon sharing numbers with Station. We also have Single Strike Urshifu, Decidueye, Corviknight, Colossal, Mad Party, Lapras, Dragapult, Blastoise, Salazzle, Weepinbell, Dreadnought, Whalered, Centiskorch, Tapu Koko, Vikavolt. So much variety, so many possibilities. Sword and Shield onwards is looking way more exciting than our current standard format, and I am hoping it will only get better as we get more sets, right? It's really interesting to note that there's no Eternatus at all, and you can see how battle styles really scared off Eternatus, especially since there's no weakness card energy in this format. Then the Urshifus just wreck Eternatus completely, and as you can see, Rapid Strike Urshifu and Single Strike Urshifu and Dragapult Urshifu, like very, very popular decks and very important parts of the metagame. So really cool to see. And now in terms of results, the top players, the top 8 was comprised of first placer Mike PNL from the Netherlands with Dragapult Urshifu, Angel Aranibar, who's like, I think he's the most consistent or one of the most consistent Sword and Shield onwards players from Peru with Single Strike Urshifu, super interesting. Next up we have Stefano Dusi from Italy with Dragapult Urshifu once again. Then we have Undaunted Hand with his trademark Zoropod deck, or Urshifu with Cinchino. We have Matthew V from South Africa with Victini Vmax, Lucky Boy from Denmark with Togekiss, and Miguelete RC from Chile with Rapid Strike Urshifu, and finally the surprise Andrew Hedrick, the only Whalered in the tournament, making it all the way to the top 8. But look at all the variety in the top 16, right? Even the top 32, like, so much variety, a much more interesting format, I would say, than standard, to be honest. Now, let's take a look at some of the top lists in this video. This is the first place list by Mike. Super consistent list with Disruption, with the Fan of Waves, Dragapult and Urshifu covering their weaknesses very nicely. The consistency of the 4 amazing rare Jirachi, so that you can get access to extra resources and whatnot. We have Research, we have Marnies, we have Boss, so fairly standard. Like, this looks almost like a standard deck. You just don't see the DNA, but the current Dragapult Urshifu list, like, the one thing that's different is that there's power plants, right, to help with Mewtwo and Mew to deny Jirachi GXs, and instead of that Jirachi, you can actually see the Stellar Wish Jirachi, right, and Scoop Up Nets and whatnot, but the core of the deck is basically the same as the current standard. Now, Single Strike Urshifu by Angel Aranibar from Peru, really cool deck to see. 3-3 line of the Single Strike, double Tyranitar to help cover with the Dragapult weakness. Both really powerful cards. We have the Tower of Darkness, we have Urn of Vitality, we have the Scroll of Scorn as well. I would personally love to see the 4th Urn and extra stadiums, because they definitely help with the consistency of the deck. The Bird Keeper feels a little random to me right there. It can act as a 4th switching card, but as a supporter that's unsearchable is definitely a little underwhelming in my opinion, but props to him for getting all the way to second place, eventually falling to Dragapult. Next up we have another Dragapult Urshifu, this one focused even more on disruption with the 4 Crushing Hammers and a single copy of Fan of Waves. Less variety on the energies, so this Dragapult version has basic psychic energies rather than the Auroras that Mike played. The Auroras obviously help you in using Urshifu Vmax's first attack, and you could even end up using Crobat as well, though very unlikely. No Jirachi support here, just straight up Dragapult Urshifu, whichever you start with, you're probably going to start powering up. The 4 Great Ball is super interesting, along with the Incense. I guess Quick Ball finds you basics, Incense finds you evolutions, and Great Ball has a chance at finding you either or. So really cool deck to see right here. And then next up we have the Zoropod deck by Undaunted Hound. As I mentioned, Rapid Strike Urshifu with Cinccino. It's basically Zoroark GX in Cinccino and Golisopod GX in Urshifu. You have the maximum consistency with 4 Sonia, you have the 3 Cheryls to heal, the bosses to target down stuff, and even the Phoebe to get past any Samazintas. You have the versatility of including Empoleon V, since you do have the Rapid Strike energies providing water energy. There's Mimikyu as well to prevent opponents from getting healed and potentially beating the mirror match that way. There's also Togekiss to worry about, of course. And next up we have Victini VMAX, super interesting with the consistency of Cinccino. Once again, not a lot of versatility in the deck in terms of like using Cinccino to play things other than Research and Marnie in terms of acceleration, but it's never bad to find extra resources and whatnot. Big chunks to increase the HP along with the Heat Fire energy that could definitely be useful. I feel like since Victini VMAX is not really an energy hog, I feel like there's definitely merit to playing maybe Cheryl in this or something, but yeah, that's just like my thoughts. Next up we have the champion from last week, Togekiss VMAX with Bronzong. Different list of course, but still wrecking, and also the most popular deck in this metagame. However, by the numbers, right, it being the most popular and only one squeaking into top 8 and only 2 in the top 16, that does mean that it wasn't super successful given its popularity, right? So just because a deck wins, just because a deck is really good or is shown to be really good by tournament results, doesn't immediately mean that you will do well with it if you just pick it up and play it right out the gate. Next up we have Urshifu VMAX with Octillery, this time around for consistency, along with the Empoleon V, and even a Crobat VMAX, so a lot of versatility in the attackers. The Crobat VMAX obviously really good, really nice against the Dragapult VMAX, so another way to cover for your weakness. And with the Aurora energies, you can actually easily power up the Crobat VMAX. So I actually really like this. I hadn't seen that it was the combination of the Urshifu VMAX along with the Crobat VMAX. And with the Octillery, you can play things like Karina's Focus, the Tower of Waters to help you with the retreat cost. No Fan of Waves I find very interesting, right? Generally, no Fan of Waves I find very interesting. I feel like one could be very disruptive because special energies are definitely getting heavily played in both standard and this format. So I would love to see a searchable Fan of Waves. That could definitely change the tide of a game. And then triple Big Parasol, I'm not exactly sure what that's for. I do believe it prevents the damage counter placement from Dragapult VMAX, but I mean, maybe that's justification enough, but it's very interesting inclusion, right? And then finally have the Whalered Frostmouth deck that definitely took a lot of people by surprise. With a Glimwood Tangle, Whalered V on average should be dealing like 240 damage most of the time, and you have a chance to one-shot just about everything. And with a humongous 280 HP and the Cape of Toughness, you essentially are as tough to take down as a VMAX. However, you only give up 2 prices, so really cool deck to see do well. The only Whalered in the tournament and got all the way to a top 8, which is a very interesting counter image, right? There's a word for that, but like the complete opposite of Togekiss VMAX, which was the most popular deck, right? But only one made it to the top 8. So props to Andrew for making it all the way to a top 8 with such a cool and original deck. And so that wraps up the coverage for the Tail 1 Challenge tournament number 2. If you want to participate in the Sword and Shield Onwards tournament that I'm hosting and that the prizes are provided by Potan Store, the circuit is sponsored by Potan. You have a chance to compete for prizes, and there will be a grand event at the end of the season right before the next set comes out. And in order to get, the event will be free and open to anyone that wants to play, but the top 32 players from the weekly challenge tournaments will get access to the day to a direct day to invite, just like it used to work in the regular Pokemon season. So I'll leave the links down below so you can join the Discord, join the tournament, and hopefully I'll see you there. Thanks so much, and until next time.